to a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Hope this is finding you and yours doing well this weekend. My name is Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. I've got a fun one for you guys today. We are going to be learning Baby I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton. So go ahead and get your acoustic guitar and let's put it in standard tuning for today's lesson. As always, guys are enjoying these lessons I do here weekly on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Really does help me out a lot. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the RS Spectrum DI, I left a link down below so you can check out more. And many of you ask how you can support me for these lessons I do here on YouTube. I have an original band, Petrilli and the Players. We have our music streaming and on Bandcamp, vinyl, merch, posters, all of that good stuff. I started a Patreon page about a year ago, and it's been such a blast. That's been really cool. And those of you in LA, I'll be playing a show August 2nd, 2025 at the Mint. Full band show. It's going to be a blast. So rock out with us. Link down below if you want to check out the tickets. So as always, you know I like to ask a question before we get started. So please do let me know where you're tuning in from and your favorite love song. Put it in the comments. I want to know. Acoustic guitar, standard tuning. Let's have some fun. Here is Baby I Love Your Way by Peter Frampton. So let's go ahead and get started. So for this intro, really beautiful like partials of chords that we have at the top, not necessarily played in this fashion or even as bar chords, right? We get to play them. Really beautiful way. Very similarly to like Blackbird or Willin' by Little Feat. Really cool way to play chords, and again, building like that chordal syntax. Because G and D and E minor, they don't just live here, they live all over the fretboard. So let's go ahead and look at the intro here. What we're gonna do is our first finger, placing that on the 10th fret of the A string. It's gonna be our G note. Our pinky finger is gonna play B, the 12th fret of the B string, and then we're gonna play this open G string as well. So for all of these chords that we're going to be playing, okay, at the top of the intro, we're always going to include the open G string. So this is a partial of G major, meaning that G, B, and D, right, the 1, 3, 5 that builds that G major, we're only playing the 1 and the 3. Okay, so just like that. If I were to move my second and third finger out of the way, that's how it should look. Now, the second and third finger do have a job, okay, with all these chords here. What we're going to do is we're going to place them on top of the strings. Their job is to mute the strings that we do not want to play. So the D string, for example, we're not going to play, okay? And these fingers help ensure that we don't hit that D string. We want it to sound like that, and that's okay. All right, so that's the first one. Okay, from there, we're going to place our first finger on F sharp. That's going to be the 9th fret of the A string. Pinky finger is going to go ahead and play A at the 10th fret of the B string, and again, we're including that open G. So we have F sharp, G, and A. Just like that, and then don't forget to use those mutes. Now, we don't want to press down with these mutes, because then it's going to sound like that. That we don't want. Lay them gently on top of the string, and they will do their job. Okay, so just like that. So we've got there, we're gonna move the shape back a whole step. So that first finger is gonna be on E. That third finger is gonna be on the 8th fret B string, which is G. So we have an E, an open G string, and then a G that is fretted at the 8th fret of the B string. So this, we can call it a partial of E minor. Just like that, okay? Now this, we're gonna strum out for a while. I'm gonna show you in context. That's what we're looking for. Now, that is going to lead to this next chord here. So first finger, placing that on D, 5th fret of the A string, pinky finger is playing F sharp, 7th fret of the B string, and again, you guessed it, open G string. So, utilizing those mutes, we don't want to play the D string. Okay, so nice and slowly, let's do this a couple times here. And that, play it once. Let's do it again. Just like that. Let's play it a little faster. Just like that. From there, we're gonna move it back. This shape, a whole step. Okay, we're gonna be playing a really beautiful C chord here. So first finger on C, that is gonna be on the 3rd fret of the A string, open G string, and then pinky finger is on E, 5th fret of the B string. Those are our building blocks, C, E, G, 1, 3, 5, there they are. Okay, so this one we're gonna strum out for a measure. Let's go ahead and do all these together. Let me know how you're doing in the comments too. Pretty fun stuff, right? So here we go. Just like that. Let's do it again. Okay. From that C chord, we're going to go play a B minor 7. So first finger across the 7th fret of all 6 strings, 3rd finger placing that on the 9th fret of the A string, F sharp, play all 6 strings. Just like that. Okay. From there, we're going to bring that back a whole step, playing an A minor 7. So first finger across the 5th fret of all 6 strings, 3rd finger 7th fret of the A string. Okay, that's going to be our E. So A, C, E, and G, building blocks of A minor 7. Okay, we're going to strum this one out as well. And then at the end, Peter Frampton gets his pinky finger, placing that on the 7th fret of the E string, which is a B note. So that would turn that A minor 7 into an A minor 9. And just like that. So we've got. And then he does an up down as we lead into the verse. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that intro again, and then we'll look at the verse, which is very similar to the intro, so it's great. So we've already covered a ton of ground in the verse. So here we go. Intro. And then leads into the verse. Okay, so just like that. So the verse, these partials here, we're gonna keep them. Now, this is where things start to change. Instead of doing one measure of C, we're gonna do 2 here. Okay, and then we're gonna lead into an F9 over C. So for some context, I'll kind of hum along. So at the verse, da 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 da. So let's talk about what the heck chord that is. So what it is an F9 over C. So how I find it most comfortable is like this. So I'll show you the way that I like to play it, and then I'll show you the way it looks like Peter Frampton plays it, both on the Midnight Special as well as in the special he did in 2022. So here's how I like to do it. I get my second finger, I place that across the 8th fret of the E string and A string at the 8th fret, so that's a C and an F respectively. My first finger is going to play A at the 7th fret of the D string. Okay, so right there. So that's going to be your F major triad, right? So there it is there. Cool. Now what happens? You're going to get your third finger, okay? You're going to place this across the 8th fret of the G string, B string, and the high E string. Notice how all 6 strings are being played. So that's how I like to do it. To me, going from here, notice how this second finger is free. That allows me to set up the chord. I have that second finger lead into playing that chord. So notice how it's free. I'll do that move again. So second finger is free. That's going to be my leading finger. I lay it across the 8th fret of the E string, A string. First finger goes down on A, 7th fret of the G string, and then third finger goes down to play the G string, B string, E string at the 8th fret. That's my thought process in getting from this C chord to this F9 over C, okay? That's how I like to do that. Now, as far as how Peter Frampton does it, to the best of my eyes in watching those videos, it looks like this. So he is using the second finger to play C, the third finger to play F, the first finger to play A, and then the pinky finger plays the rest of the chord at that 8th fret of the G string, B string, high E string. It's cool and it works for him, and I think that's awesome. It doesn't quite work for me as a player, so I choose to grip it like this instead. So I will leave that up to you, okay? So just wanted to mention that because, you know, I try to get as close as I can to how the original artist played it. So let's go ahead and do that verse again. Now keep in mind this verse is going to repeat 2 times. So here we go. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. So here we go. Verse. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Da, da, da. Let's do that again. Da, 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 da. Okay, now what we'll do here, let's go ahead and do the intro into a verse just for context. So here we go, from the top, intro. I'm gonna do a little faster. Verse. Extra measure, F9 over C. Again. It's a tricky chord, but I'll tell you what, when you nail it, be so proud of yourself. It's a tough move to get from this C to this chord here, to that F9 over C. So I encourage you, like all good things, like I say in these lessons all the time, you can't play anything fast, you can't play slow, as I'm fixing my hair here. So really take your time, okay? You can do it. So that's what's happening. Verse gets repeated twice, and then we go into our pre-chorus. We're gonna get some bar chords and maybe some other versions of some familiar chords, but played in a different way. So the pre-chorus is gonna sound like this, and I'll hum along. So don't hesitate, 'cause your love won't wait. Okay, so that's what's happening there. well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 chords. So pretty cool stuff. We're gonna do here, we're gonna go back to that B minor 7. So first finger across the 7th fret of all 6 strings, and then the 3rd finger on the F sharp, 9th fret of the A string. And again, from watching like Midnight Special, sure looks like this is what's happening as far as like playing a bar chord. So there we go there. There's that B minor 7. I'm trying to figure out how the camera likes it. There we go. B minor 7. And then it sounds like there's a little bit of a suspension. Okay? So all that is, that pinky finger is going to go on the 9th fret of the G string. Okay? So it's going to be another E note. And then you go back to that B minor 7. Okay? So from there, we're going to we're going to play an E7. And we're going to play it this way. Okay? Really whimsical way to play this chord. So how we do this, for those of you, think about a C chord, okay? And then think about a C7 chord that we know. So that's C7. If we were to bring that up a whole step, that's D7. Bring that up another whole step, that's E7. So notice how this shape moves. We're going to play the E7 here. So as far as the notes that we are playing, 3rd finger is playing E, 7th fret of the A string. 2nd finger is playing G sharp, 6th fret of the D string. Pinky finger is playing D, 7th fret of the G string, and our 1st finger is playing E, 5th fret of the B string. Now, include that open E string, so we get those cool octaves at the top. Okay, really beautiful. So, for context, so don't hesitate. Just like that, okay? From there, we're gonna go to A minor 7. So we had B minor 7, we go to A minor 7. They're a whole step apart. 1st finger across the 5th fret of all 6 strings. 3rd finger plays E, 7th fret of the A string. And if you need a little help, put that 1st finger on top, or the 2nd finger on top of the 1st finger. Because we wanna hear all those notes from the B string to the high E string, wanna hear them all. So just like that. Strum it out a little bit. From there, we're going to go to D7. So that same shape that we did with E7, bring it back, D7, okay? So again, the notes that we're looking at, we have D, we have F sharp, we have C, and then we have D. Okay, so just like that. Now, let's put them all together. So we've got, so don't hesitate, 'cause you love won't wait. Now, something to keep in mind with that D7, do not include the E strings. We don't want them there. Just strum the strings that your fingers are on, okay? Just like that. Really gets us to the chorus in a very beautiful way. Okay, so let's do that pre-chorus a few times here. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit. You can totally do this. It's fun stuff. Let me know how things are going in the comments. So here we go. Top of the pre-chorus, B minor 7. One more time. B minor 7. A minor 7, D7, okay, just like that. You guys can totally do this. So from here, we're gonna go into the chorus. No bar chords, yes. I love bar chords, but sometimes it's nice to get a little break. So the chorus sounds like this. Ooh, baby, I love you way. I wanna tell you I love you way. Okay, so that's gonna repeat 3 times. Chords we know, but if you don't, I'm gonna show you how to do it. So we have G to D to A minor to C, and then a little bit of a walk down, but it's not too bad, promise. So I'm talking a little fast, let me slow down. G major. Okay, so G, B, and D, it's 1, 3, 5. First finger on B, second fret of the A string, second finger on G, third fret of the E string, third finger on D, third fret of the B string, and our pinky finger on the third fret of the high E string G. Just like that. So we're gonna strum it out. Ooh, baby, I love. Now we're gonna go to the D chord. So using that third finger as a pivot, one of my favorite moves in playing these chords here, third finger, keep it on that D note. First finger plays this A note here, second fret of the G string, and then our second finger plays F sharp, the second fret of the E string. Strum from the D string downward. From there, we're gonna go to A minor, okay? So first finger on C, first fret of the B string, second finger on the second fret of the D string, which is E, and then our third finger on A, second fret of the G string. Strum from the A string downward. Now, another set of pivots. Don't move your first or second finger. Only move the third finger, moving it to the third fret of the A string, C, okay, and strum it out. So that's gonna sound like this slowed down. Now, optional, I heard it, there's a little bit of a walk down, which is really cool. If you can incorporate it in your strumming, so downward stroke that C chord, up stroke, moving that second finger now to play the B note, second fret of the A string, and then hitting that open A string on the downstroke, and then lead back to G. So I'll do that without the commentary so you could hear that. And then you're at the top of the next cycle, okay? So I'll play this slowly. Again, this chorus is repeated 3 times. Ooh, baby, I love the way. Repeat. Again, we're slowing this down. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Really the easiest part of the song is that chorus. So after that chorus is repeated 3 times, we go into the intro once. So for context, second time, last time. Hold the C, intro. From there, we go into verse 2. Okay, so that's what's happening. So after that intro, break, we go into verse 2, we go into another pre-chorus, we go into a chorus, we do another intro, and then we go into a verse that's gonna lead us into that verse solo, okay? And then after that solo, we go into a pre-chorus, and then into verse 3. So we do pre-chorus, verse 3. We don't do a chorus after that pre-chorus. After verse 3, there's another pre-chorus, and then we do a chorus out, and then leading into an outro, and that's the whole song. So what we're gonna do is we will look at that outro, okay? And then we'll go over the whole song. Pretty good stuff. So again, if you're enjoying the lesson, thumbs up. What we've got here is our outro. I'm gonna play it. And this is the one from the Midnight Special. I watch so many Midnight Specials with my guitar teacher. It's just, it's just really special stuff, and it's so cool to see so many of my favorite artists that were on there. So here's the outro. Okay, really cool way to tie things up. So we have the beginning, similarly to the intro. So notice how that D to C, one strike each, and then the walk down, they each get one hit. So we play that C to a G over B, meaning first finger on the second fret of the A string, pinky finger or third finger at the third fret of the B string D, open G string, and then that C. So what we've got here, first finger on C, and then you can do that too. Third finger on the A string C, and then end with the big G chord. I will play that slowly. So we've got just like that, okay, with a little speed. Okay, so that's the outro, really beautiful. With the time we have remaining, let's go through the entire song. So we will look at intro, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and the outro. I will call out the parts. Again, you're enjoying the lessons. Please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and share with a friend. It really helps the cause. So here we go, intro. Let's do the verse. Pre-chorus. Chorus, G major. Repeat 2 more times. Last time. Intro. Okay, so from there we go through the rest of the song, verse, pre-chorus, chorus, da 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 da, and then now let's go ahead and look at our outro. Here we go. So that's it, folks. There's Baby I Love Your Way by the awesome Peter Frampton. Such a beautiful song. As always, like such an honor to teach it. One of my favorites. Can't believe I didn't teach it already. Really, really fun one. As I mentioned in these lessons over and over, you can't play anything fast, you can't play slow. So I encourage you, there's some tricky parts here at this song and maybe some chord voicings that we're not used to. Well-intentioned practice makes for great sounding music. So focus when you practice. Practice makes perfect, not true. Well-intentioned practice makes for great playing. So I encourage you, have that be your goal. Well-intentioned practice. As always, I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these lessons week after week. It's been such a blast. Most certainly I want to thank all of you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being so kind to one another in the comments. We are all students of the craft, including myself. I'm humbled by the instrument every day. We are all students here. We're all students here. I'm a student too. All right, so have so much fun with this, as always. Wishing you so much success on your musical journeys. Everyone be well. Have a fantastic weekend. play lots of music. Hope to see you at the Mint Show on August 2nd. Be well, and